Hi guys, thanks for joining. Today I'm showing a new tool that I've built called Niche Analysis. It's pretty straightforward. It's going to allow you to do niche analysis for, I think, hundreds of niches in the Apple App Store. Currently limited to US only, but who cares about other places? Everybody wants to compete in US. So sorry, I don't want to offend anybody, but this is the truth. So you're going to be able to, as I said, analyze niches in the Apple App Store, and you would be able to do it very fast and get a very good amount of data and insights on different niches. So you're going to see everything in the demo. So stay tuned, and we're going to start right now. Okay, hi again. First of all, cheers. And we're going to start. So you see my website, topando.co. There's a new homepage we just launched today. So if you scroll over, you're going to see the kind of the tools, different tools of visibility, keyword research, metadata optimization, operating simulator, app niche analysis. It's a new tool. Right? And you can, pick it up from here. You can also, by the way, visit the tools page. And here you're going to see different tools, and not sure what happened here. Yeah, need to fix it. Anyway, so this is the niche analysis. So so you can get to the niche analysis, just scroll down on the home page, go to app niche analysis, and that's it. You're in. And let's see what happens in here. So you see I mean, there are many niches in the App Store. So what are the niches? A niche is when different apps try to optimize for the same keywords in their app titles and app subtitles. From this, I understand that they are in the same kind of niche. Yeah. So what can you do? You can check per category. Like if you click, for example, on books, so you're going to see all the niches that are found on books. Holy Bible, book tracker, whatever, ebook readers, right? If you go to finance, you're going to see mobile banking, cash advance. So sometimes the names not going to make sense, like cash advance, or sometimes, like, I mean, debit card expense tracker makes sense. Sometimes it's not going to make sense because there are different types, different niches where developers have been very aggressive with ASO, and they kind of they didn't have a problem to use broken English, just to stuff more keywords into app titles and subtitles. And I'm also doing this. It depends on the niche, so sometimes there is no choice. But this is what it means. I mean, a niche, right? So we can look at, for example, I don't know, let's take photo and video, one of the most competitive categories, right? So these are the niches, and there are different apps in this niche. An app can belong to multiple niche, like multiple types of niche, right? So AI photo and photo editor, you can find the same apps in there. So this is one place where you can pick up a niche, and you can, check up to 10. I give you up to 10 things that you can check. Try to check things that make sense. So if it's a photo, probably don't check it along with the video. It's a different thing. Yes, there are apps that have both photo editing and video editing, but essentially you want to you develop an app that's going to be focused usually on one thing. So but you can do whatever you want. You can select up to 10 different niches. And you have like top 25 niches in the App Store, so based on the number of apps. So the 104 apps that were recognized for AI video, 102 for AI photos, there's some gaming, and what happened next? So let's, first of all, by the way, one last thing. you can also find niches by just searching for them. So for example, right, home workout, okay, and you're gonna get all the niches that include home workout, or you can just go with workout and you're gonna get all the workout niches. Okay, so let's start with the very easy to understand niche, VPNs. So you can get to VPNs, by the way, through going to productivity, which are where most of the VPN apps are, and you can choose a VPN proxy, secure VPN, fast VPN. By the way, there is this checkbox you can check, show single word niches, because a single word, is I extract is extracted from almost any app. So it doesn't make a lot of sense, right? So right now I chose productivity and it gets me AI only on productivity, right? But if I would uncheck productivity, so then I did it smart. So then I cannot do it. Good. So AI, but the AI is too broad, right? So there are 124 AI apps only in productivity. So they are not the same. They're not compete for the same things. They cannot, we cannot consider them being the same niche, right? So usually the default is that this box is unchecked, okay? But in productivity, VPN, it's not like AI. VPN, probably everything is VPN. Yes, you can say inside VPN there are also smaller niche or more unique niche of competition. But for this demonstration, I'm gonna pick VPN, and we can do it by choosing just this VPN. Or by the way, if you don't want this method, you can go here and check VPN, proxy, fast VPN, secure VPN, unlimited, private VPN, whatever. You can check whatever you want, but probably most of them going to be covered anyway under VPN. So you do this, and then you go to next steps, and you need to give it, like a minute, right? It takes time for it to collect the data because we just picked, 85 apps total. So it's gonna populate, little by little, it's gonna populate the data of different apps, and it's gonna show you all the apps that it found. And straight away you can see the age, average rating, total amount of reviews, per the different apps. You can see the screenshots, their app icon, and if you click on them, it's gonna take you to their page, and it's gonna show you 30 apps based on total review count. And if you want to see more, so you need to go load more, and it's going to load you 10 more apps. I don't think you need, I think 30 is enough, especially because they are the most popular apps, the 10 most popular based on the amount of reviews. What you can do is that for the next steps, if you see something that you think is irrelevant for you, like I don't know for what reason, right? Yeah, sometimes it's not going to find screenshots. It's not perfect. You can see, you find something that you think is irrelevant, you can just uncheck it, and this is not going to pass through the next step. Okay, so but what is the next step? The next step is when you went over the list, you go to the next step, and you're going to start seeing the analysis. So the first analysis is this popularity versus in-app revenue. So I look at the popularity rank, like the top 3 charts inside the category, and the top grossing charts inside the category. And I look at it for 90 days, and I see where they rank, and then I assume ZIF distribution. And I'm not gonna go into this ZIF distribution thing. You can read it on Wikipedia, whatever. What's ZIF distribution? This is a method to distribute sales in revenue or in units, and that's it. In research, this is pretty popular to use this kind of distribution if you have rankings, right? So we have different rankings. I look at the rankings every day for 90 days, every day based on the rank, and app gets a score. Then I add the scores together, and then I get a better view on the total than just having, a look on today's ranks, right? So if I only look at a cut on top app ranks today, it's not going to tell me a lot, because you can just infiltrate the top charts for one day because you were featured or because you did a campaign. I don't know. It's not going to be very representative. But if I look on 90 days, and every day I give you a score, so you're going to see it, going to get a much clearer picture. So I do it for popularity, I do it for in-app revenue, and then eventually I can see who is the most popular or the most grossing app in that time period. The app with the highest income, an income of in-app purchases or in-app subscriptions. It's not going to cover a lot of things for a lot of categories. I'm going to show examples, but for VPN, right, you do going to see it. Yes, a lot of these apps also have a web flow, a web funnel for their purchases. So sometimes you're gonna purchase on the web, and then you're gonna just download an app and connect to your account, and it's not gonna be covered in the rankings, in the gross rankings. But you do what you can. So, and when you do what you can, this is what you get. You get this app, VPN Proxy, most popular, highest earnings, most earning, most popular app from all of the apps in here. So the chart is relative to the apps that are in here, right? So it's not in absolute numbers. It's a score that based on every day on its rank in the broader productivity category. And then based on the apps that entered your niche analysis, you're going to see who is the most earning one, who has the most downloads, and it's pretty clear from here what it is. And then you have, so here on the top right, yes, obviously it's high traffic, high revenues, and then you have low traffic, low revenues. And for example, you see this app, NordVPN, don't have a lot of traffic and has a lot of revenue, right? Like relatively, right? So maybe they're more profitable. I don't know. They don't have to generate a lot of traffic all the time or download traffic all the time to get revenues. Maybe you've done it in the past, and then they have a good retention. I don't know. Up to you to decide. This is what it means. Okay. So, and you have then, for example, this app, FreeVPN, that you can see. Yes, so it's in this quarter where we have relatively high traffic and low revenue. So they have a lot of traffic, they do a lot of campaigns and spend on media buy or whatever they're doing, whatever kind of advertising they do, but they don't generate a lot of in-app revenue. Then you get this kind of metric where you can see the reviews. On the x-axis, the average rating. On the y-axis, and then the size of the bubble is the average reviews per year, right? Which is kind of how fast they can generate reviews at what volume, and so in case that we have a very old app, that has been for 15 years on the App Store, they're not gonna get advantage for this metric because it depends on how many reviews they generate every year on average. Right, so you can see, for example, this CyberGhost have a pretty low rating relative to everybody else. So we can just uncheck it in here, just so we could see maybe, also we get a prettier chart. Okay, then you get this chart, this graph that summarizes everything, all of the apps that enter the analysis, their age, rating, their reviews per year, the size of the app, screenshots, do they use a preview video or not, and then you get a summary of this. So the next thing you can get is a keyword research for your niche, but we're gonna do it later. I want to show you other niches. Okay, so when you're done, you're just refreshing, and we can go to a different niche. Let's take a look at, I don't know, what do we have? Weather. Yeah. So an example thing, for example, alert weather. So alert weather are apps that are usually, gonna be from, I don't know, your government or something like that. So we know they're not gonna generate revenue, right? They're not gonna sell anything. They're just doing it, as a public service. So we're gonna choose alert weather, and we're gonna give it a minute to load all the data. Yeah. Right. So it's like first alert, if there is an emergency. So I mean, I don't know if it's governments. I don't know. Probably not governments, but I mean, they're not monetizing with subscription usually. Maybe with ads. Maybe I don't know. I'm gonna show you a different type of weather apps that do monetize with subscriptions and in-app purchases. But here, I'm just gonna, we have 30. That's enough. Going to the next step. You see what we get in here? They stand all in one line, because no one is making money from in-app purchases or subscriptions, right? So they have only popularity ranks, right? So I mean, this is the situation. So I mean, this chart not going to be very helpful for some niches where the business model is a different one. But you're still going to get everything here. You're going to get this data. Also, you can see that don't use a lot of screenshots. I mean, this is a weird kind of. Did I get it right? Yeah, 4 screenshots. And this almost the same name, 3. Yeah, I mean, this is a weird kind of. Probably there are opportunities here to make money, or to give a better experience. I don't know. Not a lot of reviews, not a lot of screenshots, good ratings. Interesting. I never looked into this niche. I mean, maybe you need to have some kind of a license, because I mean, it's about, I don't know, public security or national security even. I don't know. But let's go to a different kind of weather apps. Let's refresh. Let's go to weather, and then weather forecast. Yeah. So let's see what we get for weather forecast. Let's give it a minute. Yeah. Okay. You can see the screenshots are different. They're trying to be more appealing compared to the previous one, which were just so, I don't know, functional, which is important, but I mean, to a certain limit. Now we look at top 30, top 30 weather forecast apps in the US. And then we get a different picture, right? So you have this app, AccuWeather, with the highest revenues, 1.5 million ratings, and highest traffic. Then you have this WeatherBug, also a lot of traffic, but much less revenues. I mean, again, when I say much less, I don't. Well, it is much less, but you need to understand that it's not absolute numbers, right? So the distances between the most earning and the least earning, and the most popular to the less popular, is based on the sample that we have here of these 30 apps, or less, because not everybody have reached the chart. So if you didn't reach the charts, you don't have a rank, and then you don't have a score for me to to make. But you have 90 days to reach it, to reach the charts. So it's pretty generous. One time, reach it one time, and you're gonna be on the chart. Right. So the weather forecast, for example, app, low traffic, and in the higher amount of revenue, right? So this is not really a median in here. It's just an average. The median looked weird, but I mean, still, I mean, we can say high revenue, low traffic, which I don't know, maybe it's good, but probably it's good, right? You're making a lot of revenue per each user, and you don't need to acquire so many users with paid advertising, right? And you have these kind of apps that have, these kind of that have low traffic and low revenue, and apps with high traffic, like high popularity and low revenue. And you can see this. And by the way, if you don't like, you don't want to look at apps with low traffic and low revenue, you think they're not relevant, you can just remove them. And it's gonna, if you remove enough, you see it shifted. It shifted because it recalculated the differences between the apps, right? So it shifted a little bit. Then you have this kind of, report again, and you see this kind of app. So I probably need to add the functionality of removing stuff to here as well. But right now we can just look for the, this very low rating of 3.3. I mean, it's not relevant, I think. So we can remove it. Right? You can remove, by the way, all the apps with very low amount of, reviews, because they probably don't have a lot of traffic or something, right? So, and then you get this, and you can see what's the average, and what are the the best players. Yeah, WeatherBug, you can see, right? But WeatherBug, they have a problem with the revenue. Maybe they have a different model. I'm not saying they have a problem with revenue. I mean, I did say it, but I didn't mean it. Maybe they generate from ads. I don't know. Now let's take a look at another niche. Let's go for gaming, okay? So let's go to puzzle game is the most popular niche so far, from what I discovered. But let's take a look at something else. Let's go to tower defense. I don't know what it is. By the way, I don't have a lot of games categories, so I have the main ones: strategy, puzzle, casual, and the games, the overall game category. But I mean, I'm not working like so much with gaming apps. It's very specific. I have been, Beach Bomb, and we had clients that were purchased by Playtika eventually, and we helped them with the launch, but not doing this very often. So you can see the apps, and then the genre, like the categories of the gaming. So there's more than one usually, right? So I mean, I'm gonna tell you like everything that for all the genres that they are indexed on Apple. And then when you go to the next step, so again, so we're gonna choose one genre, one category, right? So in this case, it's strategy, because this is the most popular one among the list, right? So it shows here games. I need to fix it, but it's not games. It's it's different ones. But I look who is the most popular category among all of the apps in here, and for this category, I take their chart and present it to you, right? So you can see, right, who are the most, in terms of in-app purchases. So again, in-app purchases in gaming, so they monetize a lot from ads, and you're not going to see it here. But if people buy some, in games, I don't know how you call it, collectibles, tokens, whatever, and they buy it in the app through in-app purchases, so you're going to see it here. And then you have apps that have a lot of traffic but not a lot of in-app revenue, and apps with a lot of traffic and a lot of in-app revenue, and apps with revenue and low traffic. Obviously it's all relative to the apps that you see in the chart itself, right? So I mean, basically that's it. I'm going to show you the last thing, which is the keyword research. So let's choose some category that maybe gonna be interesting. Yeah, I looked something like logo makers, right? So logo maker, logo maker. I just went through this today. Logo generator, interesting niche. Let's see what happens there. Let's see how we get a keyword research from here. Yep. So Canva, logo maker, interesting. Let's see. Let's see what's going on in here. Another Canva app. All right. Yeah. So that's actually a good example to show what happens if you remove, like let's remove the ones that are, Yeah, and you're gonna see a different kind of spread. Super chat is, I don't know how it got here. It's productivity, Canva's photo and video. Can remove. It's not. I mean, the Canva from photo and video is not going to be in this chart anyway. But we can see like Logo Maker. I mean, probably the best app in here, and you have on the other way apps with low traffic, and obviously we have apps without traffic at all. They're not going to be in the chart anyway. But I mean, you can see from here obviously who are the most successful ones in terms of traffic and revenue. So, by the way, you can download this competitive app metric as well. And you can move from here to keyword research. So then you're going to have a few more steps and it's going to ask you some questions. So you can leave everything checked, but if you see things here that are not going to be relevant for your research, you can uncheck them. So there are some likely generic terms. Again, if you want to understand what's likely generic or likely branded, go see my other demonstrations about keyword research. But it's pretty straightforward. Either the keyword is likely generic or likely branded. So I'm going to uncheck things that are maybe one word, but I'm not going to uncheck brand because brand is so relevant for logos. Yeah, I mean, most of the things here I'm going to have to keep free. I don't want free. I don't want free AI logo. I don't want it in the keyword research because who's going to optimize for free? Nobody's going, why are you doing this? I mean, why are you optimizing for free? I mean, you're not going to do it. So I don't want to see it. Yeah, I think I can keep shop. Let's see what we have here. Yeah, everything makes more or less sense. And then you move to the next step of enrichment. You're going to get a list of keywords to enrich. Again, you can click here and you're going to see what you have here. But generally, the word video is not so relevant. So you can uncheck everything. The word maker is too general. I mean, you have the option to keep it and get your keyword research enriched with this, but it's just going to make your keyword research polluted with things that are not that relevant. And also, it will take it longer to generate. So I'm unchecking this. Obviously, I'm going to keep logo, and the rest I'm going to keep because they don't have a lot of keywords. So it's a good enrichment. The enrichment coming from Apple search ads. So Apple search ads give you a lot of keywords with traffic estimates. So, you're going to get more data with this enrichment. And you get to the next step. That's it. And let's wait a minute. Yep. And when it's done, it's done. So you have the keyword research and you can download it. You see here, you can click here, download CSV. It's going to download this. You're going to do whatever you want with this. And if you want to know what you can do with this, go and watch the keyword research demonstration videos. Right? From here, you can continue to metadata optimization, right? You would need to pick an app for this, right? In here, you need to enter an app that you want to work with. But I mean, if you want to know what to do with this, go and watch the keyword research demo videos. I'm showing there exactly what you can do with this. So that's it. That's the tool. This is a niche analysis tool. I mean, pretty straightforward one. As I said, you can get results very fast with very good level of data, especially for the time that it takes. No time. And that's it. Let me know if you have any questions. You can leave your comment. I'll try to be helpful. And that's it. See you in the next video.